Hey, good morning, guys. Wanted to tell you about a little chat conversation I just had. I read a comment on somebody's post on Threads, and it basically said this woman in her late 20s, early 30s said that I'm sure therapy can work, but it didn't really do anything for me. I went to 4 sessions, and I just felt more anxious than when I started. And the and I told her, one, I'm sorry for that. As a therapist, I hate that for you, because like I hear that too often. And so a lot of people that come work with me have already been through one or two therapists, and a lot of times they've done some of the foundational work, that so when they come to me they can dive in a little bit deeper, and that's great. The and I also said, 4 sessions may just barely be enough time to crack the surface. And I didn't say it like that. I was a little more diplomatic about it. And she said, well, nothing was changing, and I just felt like a bigger fuck up. And that's kind of where the conversation started. And most of us, and by most of us I mean all of us, we all live with that fear of being a fuck up. It's just part of growing up in this culture where we come from the previous generation that was scared that they were fuck ups, and they passed it on to us. And I noticed when my kids were little, there was never any talk like that in the house. And once the kids got into the end of second grade, but really into third grade, and third grade is where it started. And that's where the kids get into that stage of development where if they don't feel good enough, they try and prove that they're better than everybody else. And that continues on, and it just becomes a way of life by high school, unless kids actually learn and learn to fill their heart up, really, and learn not to buy into that fear of not being good enough. And in that critical voice in our head, and we all have it. If you think you're some kind of special fuck up that has this really critical voice that's always chirping at you, you're not. You are one of 8 billion people on this planet that has that critical voice in our head. And the thing is, the quality of our lives is determined by how well we learn to ignore that voice. Maybe 1% of the time it has something useful to say, but not the way that it's saying it. It may point out something to really pay attention to, but most of the time it's just going to tell you how bad you are, how wrong you are, what a fuck up you are, how badly things can go, why you shouldn't listen to your heart, why you shouldn't risk doing something you really want to do. And it'll pull up evidence from today back to the day you were born, to tell you, to try and give you evidence why things aren't going to work. That's the fear mind at work. And it comes out as being super hypercritical. And if you grew up in an environment with really critical parents, then you got a double dose of it. And your whole life is going to be about trying to just survive. It's like you were conditioned just to survive. And you don't want to upset people. You want to be nice. Don't want to cause problems. Don't want to get too much attention. And and you probably stay pretty hyper vigilant about everything going on around you, and always being able to read the room, always knowing how everybody's doing, knowing what to do to take care of everybody else so that things don't blow up. And and You don't do that because you're weak. You don't do that because you're broken. You do that because you were conditioned to do that. You were taught to completely, it's a type of self-abandonment, but really it's a survival tactic. If you grew up in that hypercritical household, or if there was a lot of chaos going on, and not even, if your parents were bad, but just if they were going through a lot of chaos, it's like not even that they were bad parents, but if there was a lot of chaos in the household when you were little, there's a really good chance you learned to take care of your parents emotionally. And when little kids learn to do that, they don't learn to take care of themselves. Now that does two things. It has a bigger impact on super empathic people, and it also enhances the empathic capabilities in people. So I'm willing to bet if you're walking around with stress and anxiety and a whole shit ton of self-doubt, you're really empathic to start with, and you've learned to hone your empathy, and you're probably borderline psychic, and you've learned to use all that insight to take care of everybody else, to make sure that everybody's okay so that it doesn't come down on you. And the price you pay for that is stress and anxiety and self-doubt, and feeling like you're just overwhelmed, feeling like you can never rest, feeling like the whole, the weight of the world's on your shoulders. And probably beat yourself up. There's that critical voice again chirping at you. Beat yourself up if you do try and take care of yourself, and you got all kinds of reasons why you shouldn't. It gets old, it gets heavy, and it's time to stop. Because the world doesn't need more people walking around stressed out. And especially now, with all the changes that are going on, more and more people are seeing through all the problems with the patriarchy. We need strong women standing in their power with their intuition intact, knowing how to take great care of themselves. And, and standing in your power doesn't mean you have to hate men. It just means you got to set very firm boundaries with the ones who are morons. That's what it means. And like, the patriarchy falling is a good thing, because it's been a limiting factor for men as well, and most men haven't realized that. But we miss out on a whole lot of good, juicy stuff when we're not getting women's input. And so we've been out of balance for 2,000 years now, and it's time for balance to come back. And that means, women, we need you. We all need you. Even the people that don't know that they need you, they need you. And one of the first steps, ultimately, spiritual awakening is about raising your vibration, and your vibration is made up of how you're feeling. And if you're walking around in stress and anxiety and racked with self-doubt, that's not one of the highest vibrations you could be feeling. And so learning to take care of yourself, learning not to take care of everybody else, learning to set boundaries from a place of strength and confidence, learning how to set boundaries from a place of pure presence, that's what it's all about. That's all for today. Ladies, I hope you're having a fantastic day. Guys, I hope you're having a fantastic day. And I know most of my guy friends are, all of my true friends are guys that actually listen to women. For those of you who are Facebook friends that really don't like what I'm saying, send me a message. Let's have a talk. And one other thing, I was thinking about this yesterday. With so many people that have grew up in a tumultuous household that just had turmoil at every turn, they really don't have any idea, they don't have any concept or any vision of what things look like when they're peaceful. And that's one of the reasons I wrote the novels that I just finished doing. And so you get to see what it's like when everything's okay and the conflict is not happening like between two people. The conflict is actually happening because of what has happened outside of the relationships. And I know that doesn't make sense, but when you read the books, it'll all make sense to you. And you get to see like the young women in the book get to relearn their relationship with their own fears and their own pain. And you get to see what a relationship is like when everything's okay and how deep and powerful the connection is. And so I'm going to drop a link in the comments to the books. It's out on audio on Audible, and you can get printed copies on Amazon. If you want an autographed copy, let me know. Just send me a message right now, and I'll I'll get your money and send you out a printed autographed copy with with some kind of inscription on the inside cover. So that's really all I'm going to say today. Love you guys. Bless you. Hope you're having a fantastic day.